What's up, everybody? This is AJ Raider, and my co-host MIKEL talks. Tonight, we will be doing the breakdown and review of Vice TV's "Who Killed WCW" episode 1. It should be fun and enjoying. Hank, we've got a cold one. Crack it open. If you got something to smoke, let's 420 it up and burn it. And as soon as my co-host gets in, we will start the show. Oh, if anybody wants to call in, I will drop the link down below. Just nobody dumb like that's gonna start shit. Just I'll post a link up
Yeah.
in here. But yeah. Oh wait, that wasn't the stream link. That was the fucking. Oh,
Oh
that was the
God.
channel link.
Oh shit.
No, that was the link that I used to watch it with.
Oh,
Whatever. If people want to
okay.
watch, it'll be on here later. Oh, I'm just outside smoking a cigarette right now. I will reveal what I'm wearing very shortly. So,
Yeah.
Mikkel,
Well, AJ, yeah.
what did you
Uh,
think of the show for episode 1?
I mean, that was my new detail for the night we were talking. It was maybe the same, like, same thing. But
Yeah, it seems like
we
it's the
just
same narrative that we've heard over
find
and
out.
over. No, I agree. Fucking
But I thought it was alright. It was alright. A bit ago, like we talked, but this is episode one, so
hmm
maybe it will get more
hopefully it
into
gets better. I mean, the same old narrative kind of pisses me off that people are pointing the fingers at one another when in reality it starts at the top with management, and in the management obviously was
yeah,
Bischoff. I mean, you can't say Ted Turner because Ted Turner really wasn't running WCW. He was funding WCW. He was making sure it
yeah,
stayed on TNT and TBS. But he didn't. His hand, the only hands that he was on was airing Thunder and Nitro and Thunder. That was about it. And making sure we have the best product on the air. I mean, that's pretty much what he was doing. I mean, he was a wrestling fan just like we are. Ted Turner loved wrestling. That's like I told my girlfriend when we were watching the episode. I said there's three things that made TBS what it was: professional wrestling, Atlanta Braves baseball, and the Andy Griffith Show. Which that's what Ted said, because I watched his document on YouTube. It's called Ted Turner, the Man from Atlanta.
yeah.
And yeah, fucking dude, he was pissed about the whole situation when he got kicked out of his own companies and was forced out because of the AOL Time Warner deal. And he was pissed when WCW was sold underneath his nose. He thought he was buying AOL and merging
Yeah,
it with Time Warner. No, they were fucking buying Time Warner and pretty much kicking him the fuck out, dropping him to fucking, I think it was like 5 or 10% of the company, which is pretty much an office job where you're just sitting in the corner doing nothing. While everybody else in the higher up executives are saying, well,
yeah,
we're going to run this company now and you can't tell us nothing. And that's the only saving grace for WCW was Ted Turner. If Ted would have never lost his companies, WCW would still be on TNT and TBS to this day. I mean, I don't know now because Ted isn't in the greatest of shape. From the
Yeah.
docu series I seen, the recent one, he's
So
dealing with
already
dementia.
got all time.
He's got dementia.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a form of dementia. He can still think and,
Oh,
do normal stuff like normal day things, but I mean like he's up there in age. Like he's in his 80s if I'm correct. But I mean, just imagine right now. Let's picture. Let's just say WCW survived the Time Warner, or let's just say the Time Warner AOL merger never happened, and WCW is still on TV to this day, because Teddy Turner Jr. would have ran it. He would have kept it on. Like he was saying that his dad loved wrestling. He
yeah.
loved WCW. He wanted to keep it on. I mean, it's some bullshit. It really pisses me off to know that these snakes in Time
Yeah.
Warner and AOL had it out, especially the higher ups at TBS and TNT. They
Oh,
had it out for fucking
I
Ted. They
mean,
had it out for WCW. They wanted WCW dead and buried and gone. That's the main focus. They didn't even care when they were making a profit. They wanted it off of their networks. They thought wrestling was
yeah.
below their standards. It's
Yeah.
like, get the fuck out of here with that.
We don't want really on my our network. And
Right.
your PO we are AW now
Oh, God. Don't even
on
talk about that
now.
fucking shit. Dude, that's not fucking real competition. That's not fucking real wrestling. That's just gymnastics. Those are fucking little
Yeah,
flippy flopping wrestlers. I mean, come on. Fucking like Bischoff said earlier on his
but
podcast, he's live
for
right now.
you what?
AEW isn't a fucking pissant to fucking
Yeah,
what WCW was. WCW, if it was still alive to this day, would have kicked the shit out of fucking AEW in a heartbeat.
yeah.
Oh, what's up,
Uh,
Christopher Jackson, Denver? What's going on? How you doing, man? Welcome to the podcast.
hey,
Um, I don't know if you're, interested in having a discussion. We have the link down below if you'd like to call in. As long as you're civil and you're not a troll or anything like that, you can come on and talk WCW. If you were a WCW fan like I was back in the day, you know, I'm about to reveal what I
yeah,
wear too. So hold on just a sec. Thanks, you guys. No, I got my WCW Monday Nitro shirt and my WCW Monday Nitro hat on. So yeah, but yeah, it's yeah, pretty much. Again, yeah, you can't say I'm not a big WCW fan. I mean, let's be honest here. I literally followed the company from '89 to 2001. So I mean, I'm a huge fan,
I
even
can't,
to this day.
I can't find mine, though.
Yeah, but I mean, in general, like, dude, there was a lot of finger pointing in this episode. I mean, everybody's saying it's
Yeah,
this person or that person, but again, I
yeah,
mean, everybody. I mean, to be honest with you, the one thing that really pissed me off about this episode was the nerve of fucking Bret Hart. Bret Hart really pissed me the fuck off because
bullshit.
I,
He
I
can,
he's a bitter old man. That's what he is. He's
he
bitter.
cannot be on now.
I'm a huge AEW, WWE, TNA, and MLW and ROH and indie wrestling fan. Oh, that's cool, man. Awesome. I mean, that's great. Uh,
Yeah,
I like
we
TNA. I
don't need
actually
to fight.
nice. Well, to be honest with you, I followed once WCW went under and went out of business. I started following and watching NWA TNA when they started June 19th of 2002. So I mean, hell, that's where I
Yeah.
became a huge AJ
And
Styles
yeah,
fan, literally. Well, I mean, AJ Styles was in WCW when they were
yeah,
dying, but I mean, he was more known as Mr. TNA.
yeah. Yeah, me, I know about a about AJ Child. You think he would be until the WCW?
If the company
You
would have
think
never
he
folded,
would
listen,
never
Mikkel,
yet?
listen. This is what would have probably happened if WCW would never folded and went out of business and was sold by the sold to the WWE. I guarantee you, he'd probably be in WCW because I mean, think about it. He started in WCW as Air Styles with the tag team of Air
Yeah,
Paris, or Air Raid. It was Air Raid with Air Styles and Air Paris, and then they
yeah.
changed his name in late 2001 to AJ Styles, and he's been called AJ Styles ever since. So I mean, in reality, it fits him. I mean, plus, I mean, he uses his first name and last name as AJ. So I mean, it kind
And
of, if you make
go,
sense.
Bill go for play bit real, but we
Yeah, I
all
mean,
know, we
to,
know Jamie
oh
Tower
yeah, of course. I mean, a
was
lot of people are gonna blame Russo for shit. Okay, listen, Russo did have stupid ideas. Everybody caused the demise of WCW. It wasn't just one person. The ultimate person that did kill WCW was Jamie Kellner. Yes, Jamie Kellner hated
yeah,
professional wrestling. He not to mention he didn't just kill WCW. He killed a lot of cartoon shows that our generation loved, like Batman the Animated Series,
yeah,
Animaniacs, Freakazoid. He killed the WB, dude. He literally did. The kids WB, he killed that shit. And you know what's funny is he was only in WW in wait what I had an older brother that lived through the WCW days. I didn't. I was only two when the company went out. Oh, okay.
uh,
So you're a Zoomer then, Christopher. That's what you're trying to say. Yeah. See, me and Mikel, we're like Gen X, like millennials. Like we border that. So I mean, I literally lived through everything, and I could tell you the last Nitro.
mm,
Literally, I was 14 years old in 2001. It was me, my mom, and my dad, and my brother. My little brother. We were all sitting back watching the last Nitro, figuring that Bischoff bought the company, right? Not to knowing, because I wasn't one of these internet, guys that were on the internet, researching and finding out that WWE bought WCW. I thought Bischoff bought it because he was saying that he was going to buy the company,
well,
and then the
well,
last night, then the second to last Nitro when he said that we hit a brick wall on not buying the company, Fusion Media Fusion Media Productions. They pulled out the last minute, and WWE swooped in and bought the remainings and the assets of WCW. And all I remember is we sat back, we turned on Nitro that night, and the first thing we saw was fucking Vince McMahon, dude. My dad had a fucking fit because you got to remember, before WCW was a thing, you had Georgia Championship Wrestling, and then Crockett, and they were together. And my dad he grew up in the South. He watched fucking. He didn't watch WWF or anything like that. He watched He watched George Championship Wrestling and Jim Crockett. I mean, I grew up on WCW, but yeah, yeah. I'm a boomer. I'm in my mid-20s. You're not a boomer. You're a zoomer. A boomer would be like my dad. Rest his soul. R.I.P. to him. My dad was a boomer. You're a zoomer. There's a big difference. No, but yeah. I mean, it sucks. It
Yeah,
sucks that now
but
that we've lived a quarter of a century without WCW. That's fucking bizarre, man. Like, and it. I mean, watching it back, it's sad. It's really sad to know that a company I grew up loving, that yeah, I only got to see for 12 years because that's the existence of what it lasted. I mean, it sucks. It breaks your heart to fucking know that, hey, they're kicking WWF's ass for fucking 3 years straight, damn near, and then all of a sudden they do a complete 360 and shit on themselves, and then fuck up and end up being took off air and then sold to the competition. That doesn't sit right in my stomach. That that hurts, man. What else? Oh, it's all right, man. It's not your fault. Hey, we're just glad you're here. You know, it anybody, like I said, we're trying to grow here on YouTube, and that's it's pretty much it. We're glad that you're here, Christopher. We're glad that everybody's here that's watching us. Everybody feel free to come in, talk about anything, any moments or memories you have of WCW, or if you like like some people have gone back and watched it that were either too young or are just trying to relive that that era of wrestling, which a lot of people say the 80s was like the golden era of wrestling. I disagree. I would definitely think the Monday Night Wars was probably the golden era of our generation. Because I didn't really get into the 80s with the Hulkamaniacs and the fucking what the hell was it? The rockin' wrestling with WWF. I didn't. My heroes were Sting, Ric Flair, a lot of people. Like, I mean, it was different time. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was just I, it's so to think about this way. I think the company, besides Kellner killing it by pulling the plug, like I put up on the screen, I put up all these different facts of the matter that are true, which did kill the company. I mean, let's be honest here. WWE and MIKEL, by doing that, it makes no sense. You might as well just take yourself off the screen so I can read them all off. You're not making any sense doing that at all.
okay. I brought the
Right, no.
camera.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, like, I mean, like, think about it this way. Like, you have so many results that cause this problem, like Starrcade 97, the finish, the NWO, which, yes, made WCW profitable for 3 years, yes, and kicked the shit out of Vince McMahon and WWE for 83 weeks straight, yes. The Mike Tyson incident that happened hurt. Yeah. Charles, if you'd like to come on, man, the link is in the chat, please. I'm actually sporting my WCW hat and shirt tonight. If you'd love to come on and talk WCW, I know you're a big WCW fan. If you'd love to come on and talk, and the link is in the chat, please, we welcome everybody to come in. But I mean, the finger poke of doom, I mean, Russo, David Arquette, Ted Turner losing his power, I mean, the list goes on and on. Jim Hurd, the Turner executives, I mean, standards and practices, the merger, a lot of stuff like I listed on here because I make all the thumbnails. It all caused these problems in the company. The Bash at the Beach 2000 with fucking Jarrett laying down for Hogan and Hogan having a fit and taking off. I mean, that's the real thing that pisses me off. That look, I'm an Eric Bischoff guy. I have been since WCW, but he should have never put that stupid creative control clause in Hulk Hogan's fucking deal. That was so stupid. I I don't understand it. And then like I like Kevin Nash, I do, but when he said in the opening monologue, he said, "Oh, thanks for the money." That really pissed me the fuck off. It's like, really, dude, you were just here for the fucking money. You didn't want to do what everybody else was trying to do. And I mean, yeah, we were at war. I get it. His buddies were in WWF, Triple H and Shawn Michaels. I get it. And but you got to think of the matter is WWE was stale before WCW started competing with them. Think about it this way. Think of like 1990 to fucking 96. Both companies, well, no, I take that back. WWE wasn't in the greatest shape it was before the Attitude Era. They were fucking doing Garbage Man and the Goon and Repo Man and the Gockly Gooper. I mean, literally, come on. Without Nitro, without Ted Turner giving WCW Nitro what it was, do you think Vince would have ever changed and competed with him? I think about it. Bischoff literally challenged Vince McMahon to a fight at Slamboree 98. Said that he's going to be in his backyard, that he's waiting on you, Vinnie Mac. He's going to kick your ass. Vince McMahon didn't show up. Just like with the whole incident with DX showing up to the arena, and I think WCW should have opened the doors and let him come in. Think about it. That would have been a whole lot better because that would have been more viewers and more eyes on the WCW brand. Because all those guys would have started kicking the shit out of fucking DX, even though, yeah, it would have been, kayfabe, whatever, but I think it would have been great for TV. Because think about it, the NWO was invading. Back in 96, they even said they were invading this company, even though, what was it? I think it was Uncensored 96 when Nash and Hall came out and Bischoff asked them if they worked for WWF. And they said no, even though they were quote unquote invading when they weren't. Because if you think about it, Kevin Nash and Scott Hall started their companies in WCW. A lot of wrestlers that you see in WWF started their careers in WCW, like Triple H started it in there, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Mick Foley, Undertaker, Edge. Edge started his career in WCW. I mean, the list goes on and on. I mean, hell, Dustin Rhodes, he was in WCW before he was in WWF. Nash was all about the cash. Yeah, exactly. That's what pisses me off. Like, now it kind of pisses me. It kind of makes me not like him because it seems to me that, was he sent by WWE to fucking go and kill WCW? Was the NWO a problem? Was the NWO a part of the problem of killing WCW? That was the real question. Because that's what it seemed like. Yes, everybody loved the NWO. Yes, it was WCW versus NWO in fucking story, kayfabe. It was a great fucking time. But what built them up and made them profitable kind of killed them. I mean, they should have stopped the NWO right after Starrcade '97, in my opinion. And then that botch, they should have had it
Yeah.
clean by having Sting win clean instead of them have to reverse it and start all over with Bret Hart running out and having Hogan tap out. That was a fucking stupid fucking thing to do. And then on top of it, I mean, like Kevin Sullivan said after WrestleMania 14, that it was feeling chilly out there, the water's getting cold, and then him and Nash were saying that um, it was like hitting like the Titanic hitting the fucking iceberg, and it sucked. Yeah, Nash is a dick, bro. I love him, but I'll even tell him I'll even tell I can even tell him that he's a dick. Yeah, I mean it's just some bullshit, man. Like I like that they're doing the storyline. Wait, what did Christopher say? I'm watching the 96 and 97 WCW when I get back watching it on Peacock. Oh yeah. See, the only thing is it's great that now we can watch all that on Peacock, but it's heavily edited.
Yeah,
Like it was
but
even heavily edited on the WWE network too, because for some reason, okay, I don't
yeah,
understand how this works. If it's licensing rights or something, but okay, when you buy something, it doesn't matter if it was fucking whenever, you own the intellectual property. Like, think about it. Okay, every time they show WCW Monday Nitro on fucking on Peacock, they don't blur out the TNT logo, but yet they changed the music from Chris Jericho. They changed the Hollywood Hogan, the Voodoo Child thing with the NWO song. They changed Diamond Dallas Page's Self High Five.
yeah,
They changed Raven's theme. I mean, it's so heavily edited. It sucks. I mean,
yeah,
oh, let's see here. Nash '98 with the blonde hair and the red wolf pack was probably the best. Oh yeah, like I'm not gonna no, like in general, like I think Kevin Nash was like one of my favorite WCW stars, but now watching all this, it kind of just gives me like the vibe like, do I really want to associate myself with him anymore or like him? I mean, it kind of gets, like I said earlier, it makes my stomach turn knowing that I thought maybe everybody's out to as a team, but in reality everybody's just waiting for the company to die. Because I think about it, it wasn't just the wrestlers that were trying to kill it, it was the fucking executives. The executives were on top of it that were fucking trying to kill the damn thing before Nitro even was a thing. Hell, Bischoff said without um Ted Turner or Hulk Hogan, the company would have been dead probably in '94 after Hurd was there. Or no, no, no. Yeah. Yeah. It's just, it's kind of sad. And I did like that the beginning of it when they had the lost found footage that was I guess from the last Nitro that some fan had on oh, what was it? I think it was the camcorder recording from the last Nitro, which that was pretty fucking cool. Like I didn't get to
yeah,
see those shots because they never showed that on TNT when it happened and aired. And I mean, I think it was really cool. It saddens me the wrestlers themselves hated WCW inside. Us fans loved the product. It was more to us than a show. No, I agree, Charles. Like, yeah, dude, I fucking. That's all I knew for 12 years. With my first like 14 years of life, the 12 of it was nothing but WCW, dude. That's all it was. And it sickens me knowing that it just went away. And now I've lived with almost a quarter of a century without it, and it sucks because yeah, people could say, well, oh, well, we have WWE and AEW and ROH and TNA and MLW and all these other companies. It's like, yeah, it's great and all, but if you were a certain fan of a certain company and it's no longer there, the hell, think about it this way: WCW fans are as passionate as fucking ECW fans. ECW fans are more passionate. Think about it this way: and their company died from fucking bankruptcy because their owner literally was working for the competition. Paul Heyman literally was working for the WWE while ECW was still in business. Tell me how the fuck that works. How do you abandon your own company to go work for the competition, even though the competition is paying is funding your company? I don't understand that. It boggles me to understand that. I don't get it. Let's see here. What else?
No.
What?
Damn my cat.
Oh yeah, Tex. No, we're talking about the Who Killed WCW series. It just aired on Vice. It was actually pretty good. We're talking about it. If you'd like, you can call in and talk about your favorite moments of WCW and what do you think caused the death, who killed it. I mean, the link's down below, man. If you're welcome to call in. I mean, we embrace you coming on and hanging out with us. I mean, we really would like a third man to talk about this because I know you're a big WCW fan, just like myself. Obviously, you could tell I'm in my WCW gear, so obviously. But yeah, no, Charles, I agree. Like, the fuck. Hold on, just a second, guys.
Yeah. I can't keep up with the dot.
Well, yeah, no, I'm trying to kill a damn fucking mosquito, bro. I guess it flew in my house. I don't know.
Go. Not okay.
Oh, is it?
Go. Not
That's good. That's what you want. I mean,
yeah, but here, I'll be keep up. No, baby.
let's see here. Charles says Ric Flair pissed me off with that. He acted like he couldn't wait for it to fold. What a dick! WCW supported his ass. Yeah, no, I totally agree, Rick. I totally agree, Charles. Like, that's the thing is, I've met Ric Flair during the WCW days. Nitro 100. Literally, he was doing a autograph signing and picture taking at Harmony House in Lake Orion just the same night as Nitro 100. I went to the one there at the Palace, and I met him prior to. He was a nice guy. But, I mean, him being a dick saying that he can't wait for WCW to fucking die and go out of business, when think about it this way, Ric Flair was only in the WWF for, what, a year? Think about it this way. Ric Flair wrestled in the 70s and 80s for Crockett and the NWA. Who do you think the NWA and Crockett was turned into? WCW. So you're pretty much shitting on your whole fucking company, on your whole company's career, minus 1 year. I mean, hell, if it wasn't for WCW, you wouldn't have a name. You wouldn't be Ric Flair. You'd be just some fucking random guy. You wouldn't be the fucking nature boy. You wouldn't be the kiss wheeling stealing, son of a gun. You wouldn't be this guy. You wouldn't be the guy.
No,
You wouldn't be the man. That fucking. I mean, seriously. When people think of wrestling, like they think of WCW, they think of Ric Flair, they think of Sting, they think of the NWO, they think of fucking Harley Race, they think of you know the Legion of Doom. I mean, come on, Vader. WCW is what made me a wrestling fan in the first place. Oh yeah, dude, same here. Literally 6 months old, dude, watching WCW with my dad. Literally, yeah. I was a WCW kid throughout my whole life. Well, like I said, for the 12 years it existed. But then I got into WWF, but WCW made me a fan originally during the Nitro times. But yeah, I mean, from like 95 to 98, WCW was red hot. I mean, it couldn't even before the NWO. WCW was on fire. I mean, a lot of people say, "Oh, but they're all old timers." Okay, but Hogan was still good. Savage was still good. Ric Flair was still good. Sting was still good. I mean, come on, man. These guys fucking made the company what it was. What's up, Tex?
What's up? Well, I mean, we've talked about this a billion times already. Now I don't watch Vice because that channel's nothing but leftist garbage. That's literally went. They are out of money. I'm surprised they're even on the air right now. But Vice is horseshit. But as far as WCW goes, I put that more on Jamie Kellner and TNT than WCW itself.
Right. No, I that's what I was talking about earlier about.
I mean, to yeah, WCW had a lot of bad angles. I mean, but that people can say finger poke of doom or the NWO ran amok and they beat all the good guys and they never got their comeuppance. There's 1,000 different excuses that you could say. But you can say that same thing about literally any and every other wrestling company with shitty angles and bad creative. That to me doesn't hold water.
Right.
What killed WCW was TNT. And obviously, Ted Turner being pushed to the side. TNT wanted to change. They had TNT was they wanted to kind of go more Turner Classic Movies route. Is kind of what they wanted to become, this kind of highfalutin, kind of fancier of a network. And for the ones that don't know, Joe Bob Briggs, he had Monster Vision. Well, it was so hard to watch Monster Vision because this was literally on TNT at the same time as Nitro was on there.
Yep.
And it would come on Saturday nights, sometimes at 10 o'clock, sometimes at 11, sometimes 1. Sometimes it would go to like 5 or 6 in the morning because TNT did not care. They looked at stuff like wrestling and like scary movies as something that they were ashamed of. They wanted the network to be like I said, like an AMC or a Turner Classic Movies channel, whatever, something that was fancier and whatever. And if you go back and look at what they did to WCW, they did the exact same thing to Joe Bob Briggs, which, like I said, for the ones that don't know, he had Monster Vision. And Joe Bob Briggs his real name is John Bloom. He's a guy from down here in my neck of the woods in Texas. He was a newspaper writer. He reviewed drive-in movies. Well, he created the Joe Bob Briggs character, and it made it famous. He went to a few different TV channels, and he just hosted horror movies. He would tell funny jokes, some backstory, and it got to Monster Vision, and he had a big show. You can just go on YouTube and find all the clips. Well, they were even they even shut down him because he would wear all his cowboy gear, his hat and stuff. They made Joe Bob go in and instead of wearing his regular clothes that he would, the cowboy hat and stuff, like a bowling kind of shirt, and he's like in like a lounge type thing that was like up all
Mhm.
night with Joe Bob Briggs. Just stupid, weird shit. Like they took him out of his trailer park and put him in like this little lounge looking thing. It was weird.
You
Well,
know
this
what's
is at the
really
very
fucked up?
same.
To
Uh,
to to elaborate on your comment, just remember Ted Turner was the one that wanted Monster Vision and Joe Bob Briggs
right,
on the network. He made Joe
right,
Bob Briggs that show, made it what it was. Once Ted
right.
lost, like again, when Ted lost power,
Well,
like WCW and Monster Vision, it went to the shitter. Agree?
yeah, no, it was because they had shown scary movies like on Saturday night prior to Joe Bob getting there. But once Joe Bob, I believe Joe Bob was on the movie channel prior to going to TNT.
You
But
know him better than I
this
do.
was this, yeah, it went movie channel. Let's see, he was on a few different places, but I think he was the movie channel right before he went to TNT. But uh, what Monster Vision did was it it was so cool. Like Joe Bob would do like these all night marathons. Like he did a Friday the 13th marathon on TNT, and he showed like 6 movies. Like they went all night one night. And but to kind of tie all this together, the the head guys at TNT got Ted Turner out of the way. They wanted to change the network. That's ultimately what killed it. I mean, we could do hours about which angles, this and that, and whatever, and that's fine. But the reality is, TNT killed the golden goose because they used WCW as the show to unload all of their other failures on monetarily, which is
Mm-hmm.
not fair and it's not right.
Exactly.
They when it came to Joe Bob, they would show because Ted Turner he owned I forget he owned thousands of movies. This is
Yep.
why they had the Joe Bob Briggs show. So it was
Mm-hmm.
very cheap to put on a show like Monster Vision because I mean I think it was wasn't it Up All Night that was on USA that was
Yeah,
kind of their
USA.
competition. I believe that's
Yeah, it
what.
was USA Up All Night with Rhonda
Yeah,
Schurz, and then who was
yeah.
the fucking guy from Problem Child 2?
They They had a few different hosts for Up on that. I remember Gilbert Godfrey did it
Gilbert
a couple
Godfrey. That was the other
times.
one. Yep.
Um, Elvira did it. I mean, they had kind of a revolving door for Up All Night.
Right.
But I think Penn and Teller did Monster Vision at one point too, like prior to Joe Bob getting there. I'm not for sure.
No, I
But
don't
either
think so.
way,
I think Monster Vision started with Joe Bob because I think
it
because
Penn and Teller
Ted
may have been on
saw
Up on.
him.
I know they hosted some horror shows, but I can't remember which one it was. Either way,
I think it was Up
but
All
Ted
Night.
Turner. I think Ted Turner bought the MGM film library. I think that's the ones. I think that's the studio
Yeah,
that he owned. I'm not for
yeah,
sure.
he owned that.
And he had the rights to all this, and he pushed the movie stuff, and he pushed WCW.
And Atlanta
Well, with Ted out of
Braves
the way,
baseball.
oh yeah, Braves baseball, of course. But I mean, it with him out of the way, the people that were ashamed of the wrestling and the movies thought they could be better. Well, look at what they did. Once I don't think I watched TNT for probably 20 years after Monster Vision and WCW left the airwaves.
Yeah,
I'll be real
it
honest
kind of pissed me off too. Like I agree with you,
with you.
Tex. It
Well,
really pissed me off.
it wasn't that it just pissed me off. It's just they had nothing else to watch. I mean, what are you going to watch? Like reruns of like ER or whatever the
And
crap they were
Friends.
showing
Yeah.
or whatever it was. I mean, I had no TNT went from because of course TBS was the superstation, but I mean TNT
Right.
was right there. It was literally the next channel, so you could basically call it the same thing. At least for me, it
Yep.
was anyway.
Yeah. Same here.
But the it went from a destination channel that like it was one of those channels my TV would stay on, like whenever I turned it off, so it was right there when I turned it back on, to one of those channels in the middle of the dial that I didn't care if I ever had. And I really don't. I mean, I don't have cable or satellite now, so it's not even an option for me. But you know, if I did, I wouldn't fucking watch it because there's nothing for me there. But you
Right.
know, it is what it is. Now that being said, I mean, we can speculate what would WCW be today. You know, you could say, oh, well, it'd be bigger than WWE or AEW or whatever.
Well,
You may be
AEW
right.
wouldn't be
You
on
may
the
be wrong.
AEW wouldn't be a thing.
Well, you can't say that. WCW, what if, I mean, once you start playing the game of what if, you can go in 1,000 different ways. What if Eric Bischoff and that group that he put together had bought WCW and then they took it to Fox or NBC or whoever? You know, AEW still may come along. Who knows? But
But think about it though. What me and MIKEL were
I don't
talking
know.
about prior to. What if like the AOL Time Warner merger never happened, and Ted still had his hands on WCW? I mean, right now I
Well,
don't know because Ted's in his 80s and he's got dementia. But still,
just say
I mean,
Ted Turner is Ted Turner was always. I mean, he was a fan of WCW, but he put
exactly.
most of his work into CNN. If you
Yeah,
really,
when
if
CNN was
you
good,
really look, huh?
I said yeah. When CNN was good, now it's shit.
Well, I don't know if it was ever good, but it was. It's not as at this point. The only reason CNN gets any ratings now is because hospitals and like hotels have it on their TVs. Nobody besides that watches CNN. People on the
Right.
left don't even watch CNN. It's garbage.
Yeah.
But CNN was Ted's baby. That's the one that he pushed. Ted Turner had big political. Ted, let's be honest. Ted Turner was a globalist. He was in with that new world kind of
Oh,
crowd. I
yeah.
mean,
But he did fund
even
the
if
UN too.
yes, this is what I'm saying. Ted Turner was one of these globalist elites that if Ted Turner was younger now, we wouldn't be a fan of this guy. Let's just be real honest here. If you really look into to who and what Ted Turner did, now it just so happens he had a couple of hobbies that we're fans of from the wrestling and the movie stuff.
Right.
But like, there's even some conspiratorial stuff with like Georgia Guidestones. I don't know if you know anything about those or not.
The what?
The Georgia Guidestones, those three big
No.
stones that set in the they're just I think they're just outside. Well, they were just outside of Atlanta. They're not there anymore. Somebody blew them up.
Oh
But
wow.
oh yeah, no, dude, you can spend days on a
I
rabbit
haven't been
hole
in
going looking
Atlanta
at
in a
stones.
few years, like, but no,
Well,
I need to check out
Georgia
more of that
Guidestones
shit.
ain't there no more. But there was a lot of speculation and rumors. The guy that had the Georgia Guidestones created, his name was R.C. Christian, but that was a
Okay.
pseudonym. That was not the man's real name. And it's heavily rumored that that guy was actually Ted Turner, but there's no way to prove that. I said,
I don't
I
know. From
mean,
what I was hearing, he was like a fucking legend in Atlanta. Like when Atlanta was down and
oh yeah.
out, Ted Turner funded the whole fucking city, dude. He was a billionaire, man. I
Well,
mean, come on.
Ted Turner. I mean, when you've got that kind of money in an area, I mean, it's as the saying goes, a rising tide raises all ships. That's just the way
Right.
that it is. I
Right.
mean, you had, I mean, Atlanta in the '90s was huge. You had the Braves were good. Hell, they had the Olympics there in what '96? Let's see,
Yeah,
what year was that?
96. Yeah, it was 96.
'96. Um, Atlanta was booming at that point in time, and Ted
Right.
Turner was. a key component of it because a lot of it is his globalist, elite ties that he has. And when you run in that club, you're running with wolves, and they eat their own. I mean, it's just the way that the politics game is. Ted Turner was a politician. I mean, let's just be honest about it. But
I agree.
you know, as far as when it comes to him and WCW, we're just lucky that he happened to like wrestling and didn't mind throwing a bunch of money at it. That's the only reason
Hmm.
WCW even existed. You
Exactly.
know,
Exactly.
the rise and fall of WCW was literally at his pocketbook. Once he stopped putting money into it, it was never going to go anywhere. That's just the honest truth.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's it was his pet project, just like the Braves were his pet project. I mean, he
Right.
he loved baseball, he loved wrestling, and he loved fucking the news. That's why
Well,
when he made CNN, he said that CNN would always be the only channel that's 24 hours a day news. I mean, that's what he built by hand.
well, and I mean, I've said it before, and I'm sure I'll have to say it again at some point. WCW, my my wrestling fan like time lived and died with them because it wasn't because it was so much better than some other company or it was so different. Because in reality, let's be honest, most wrestling it's all wrestling. It's all fake fighting with different kinds of characters and different storylines.
Right.
It's one of those things. I just happen to prefer that kind.
Yeah, same
And
here.
when it went away, slow like obviously I still tune in now and then. Hell, I mean I watched a good chunk of WrestleMania this past year, not all of it, but most of it. But I don't watch weekly. I don't watch SmackDowns. I don't watch Raws. I don't care. I'm grown out of it. There's other things I would rather do with my time, but you go back to, when WCW was around, yeah, that was the height of my fandom. It's one of those things. But what killed it was TNT. I mean, if I had to put anything on it, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely like we said. It was the Time Warner AOL merger. It was
No,
Ted losing the company. It was fucking Jamie Kellner brought in to ultimately kill
no.
WCW and, like I said, kill fucking a lot of things. It killed the Atlanta Braves. It got sold off.
They
The Atlanta Braves got
completely
sold off. The
the
fucking
AOL merger and Jamie
yeah,
Kellner was a culture change
yeah,
for the Turner Network.
yep,
And the minute that culture changed, it it dropped a nuke on everything.
mm-hmm,
And unfortunately, two of my favorite things went away with it, and I wouldn't get Joe Bob's show back till 2020s, late
yeah. The last
2019,
drive-in.
whatever,
Imagine
until the
this,
last driving came
Tex.
back
What if say Monster Vision would have survived, or hell, I mean, what if like okay,
around.
say like Monster Vision went away, right? Like it did, and say like somehow Turner got his hands back onto doing the horror movie stuff, and he could bring back Joe Bob and them prior to say like because think about the AOL Time Warner merger only lasted for 6 months, and then it fucking then
Yep,
it went away. Think about it, Jamie
yeah, it fell
Kilner
apart.
was only in the company for fucking 6 months too, and then he went away. So literally,
Oh,
it was a hit job. It seemed like it was a hit job. They wanted to do what they could
well,
to kill shit that people enjoyed and loved
I look at it
because
this
they
way.
wanted to be
You know,
comedy or fucking drama. I don't get it.
I would, as much as I love, like as I will forever treasure both my time as a WCW wrestling fan. Hell, I can remember that whenever Starcade '97 was coming around.
Hmm.
You know, I had I had never bought a pay per view before that. Now we had like jerry rigged cable where we could get some for free, but at this point in time we didn't have that. So the only
Right?
way I was going to be able to see it, my dad said, if you want to watch it, you got to buy it. And I worked my butt off, and that was the first pay per view that I ever bought myself. And
Really?
oh yeah, I'll never forget it. Dude, I hauled hay, I did chores, I did all extra works, I did all kind of stuff. I did whatever I had to get that
Hmm.
$60 or whatever it was. And uh, you know it's not so much that I miss WCW or the wrestling. It's that time period of life, that time period of the world, especially
Mm-hmm.
with what the way the world is now. I mean, this world's a fucked up place. It's
Oh yeah,
awful.
dude. If you could
I
take me
mean,
back to
it's
the fucking mid to early '90s, and then like, I mean, dude, it was the best time. I mean, think about it. We
uh,
had Blockbuster, we had
right.
wrestling,
Well,
we
that's what I'm
had
saying. It
movies
was.
that were actually good.
This is what I'm saying. It's I loved that time period because Monday nights I was watching Nitro, and then Saturday
Exactly.
night my butt was parked in front of that television waiting for Joe Bob to come on the show, whatever he was going to, and
I bet your
I was
Saturday
gonna
night
watch it
was all
on
night
the.
though. Think about it. Think about your Saturday
Oh yeah,
night was started with Saturday night, WCW Saturday night, and then you would go right after Saturday night to Joe Bob because
well
6:05 on TBS was Saturday
they
night.
would show the WCW Saturday night, then they would
Right.
show a movie that was not hosted by Joe Bob. Then, after that movie was over, as the closing credits were coming up, they would go half screen with Joe Bob talking. He'd be like, "Oh,
Right.
coming up next on Monster Vision, we're showing Cujo or Friday the 13th or Halloween, whatever it was."
Right.
And then the Monster Vision intro, and then you might get one movie, you might get five. It just that's what was so fun about Monster Vision was like, uh, especially like halfway through the Monster Vision run, the TNT executives they literally told Joe Bob, as long as you're off by daybreak, literally that's basically it. And so whenever the sun comes up, and he
Yeah.
just went, So it was a special time in life. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
of course, I'll have Sting is my favorite wrestler of all time. It's no secret, whatever. The there's so many. I mean, anybody who's listened to this probably has heard me give my piece on WCW. I don't have to repeat myself, but it's for me that's the nostalgia time period. That I mean, I'm looking at my shelf under my television right now, and I've got a Joe Bob Briggs action figure with a Monster Vision logo pin sitting at its feet. Just so I have a visual reminder of that time period. It's the little
Yeah.
things that I miss more than anything.
Yeah. I do. I totally agree. Remember those WCW figures I have? That they're on my
So,
wall. Literally.
dude,
Right now I'm wearing
I've
WCW
still
Nitro gear.
I still have the only. Well, I've got a few WCW figures from back in the day that I still have today. But my favorite
Right.
one, it was the Wolfpack Stain figure, where if you
Hmm.
squeeze the legs, the arms would like open up wide, and uh, like half of the paint is rubbed off of it. It's in horrible condition. It's bad,
Well,
but
yeah,
I've
you
got
were a
it.
kid back then, just like I was.
Well, yeah, I mean, it actually got played with, but the fact that it's worn out makes it even more special. It's not a new one, and
Right.
it's the memories. It's the retro. Looking at it retrospectively, you're gonna have rose-colored glasses with anything, whether it's
Oh yeah.
WCW, your favorite television show, whatever it is. Everything was
Hmm.
so good. When in reality, it's probably a mixed bag. But either way, you miss it because it's gone and it's never coming back. And
Exactly.
that to me is the most kind of annoying thing about wrestling fans is they clamor for the Attitude Era or this or bring back ECW, whatever it is. That shit's
Right.
not coming back. Even if it
No.
were to come back, let's say WCW came back today. Let's say Eric Bischoff somehow bought the company from TKO and blah blah blah. It's not going to be the same. It's not going to
No, it
feel the
won't
same.
be.
It's not going to look the same.
No.
Mm-mm.
You can enjoy it from the past, but
Yeah,
you got to keep in mind it's not going to be what you want.
exactly. Because everybody that we loved and we watched as kids, they're old and broken down. Hell, might be
Right.
even dead for all we know. I mean, let's be honest here.
Right. I mean, I saw a video of Hulk Hogan the other day, and the dude's walking with a walking stick.
Yeah.
He's Father Time beats all. As they say. So it's one of those things, and I'm not gonna watch this Vice TV thing because fuck them. I can't.
It is kind of fun though. It is interesting though. Just I know you don't like
Oh
Vice.
no,
I
I'm not
get
saying
it.
it's not. I don't support that leftist woke company shit. It's just a principle for me. It's one of those.
Right, no, I get that. No, it to be honest with you, it's not all Vice though. It's more of the Rocks company that is funding it and doing this as a pet project.
I don't know about any of that.
Yeah, no, he
It's
started the show with it, like literally.
it's a do I wish WCW died? No, obviously. Let's say the AOL deal and all that hadn't happened. Would they still be around? Who knows? I mean, you could speculate either way. You could fan fiction your way into, oh well, they actually would have beat WWF and blah 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 blah. Anything could have happened.
See,
Anything is possible.
I understand that what you're saying. Like okay, I understand back in the day we were at war. I get that. But at the same
Well,
time, I don't want any company dying. I don't want WWF dying. I didn't want WCW dying.
of course
Hell, I
not.
didn't even want fucking extremely crappy wrestling dying. I didn't want anything. Dude, when there's competition, real competition, I mean, people could say, oh, MLW or AEW or TNA or,
Right.
any of these companies, but they're not WCW. They're not WWF. They were not at the
Oh
heights
yeah.
that
No,
they
don't get
were.
me wrong. I'm not saying I want a company to die because what happens when a company dies? That means somebody loses a job, and I
Yeah,
don't like that.
exactly.
Even
Exactly.
even if I don't like that company, I don't want them to go out of business because you know what? That's what the free market's about. You know
Hmm.
the I don't understand the WWE, AEW people that want the other to go out of business.
Yeah, it's
I'm not.
stupid.
I'm not attached to either company. I don't care.
Me
Now,
neither.
well, if if I'm going to watch, well, I take that back. I Last time I watched AEW was Sting's last match. I had to see that just out of sheer respect for my favorite of all time. And I've watched WrestleMania. So, I mean, within the calendar year, I've seen both companies. But I'm
Right?
just not a wrestling fan anymore. I don't even consider myself a wrestling fan. To me, it's the product is not for me anymore. I grew out of it. And that's okay. That's life. That happens to the
Yeah.
best of us.
We're all adults. I
But,
mean, it
you
happens.
know, if WCW had lasted, if they had not been bought, I would hope that both them and WWF made it because guess what? That just means more product to enjoy and more people can have a job. And look at this world. We all need more jobs, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Like you said earlier,
You know,
when WCW died, a lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people in the back of the
right.
last night show didn't know where their job, what if
Well,
they would have a job. They didn't know. Like literally, there was people that worked in Turner that lost their job. Not just the
right.
WCW
Yeah.
ring crew or backstage. A lot
Yeah.
of people lost
I'm
their
not
jobs.
talking about just like Sting and Kevin Nash and Goldberg, the people who are making millions of dollars. I'm talking about the guy that's on the rigging crew for the lights and the ring crew and the truck drivers hauling the
Hmm.
stuff from town to town. It's those people that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's what those guys aren't. those guys didn't get guaranteed contracts with Ted Turner.
Hell no, they
Those
didn't.
guys were making probably hourly wages or salary or some shit. I don't know.
And then
But,
think about this. This was the
you know,
90s. In the 90s, you weren't making that much money. Minimum wage. I mean, it wasn't that
right.
even that
Well,
much.
I'm sure they probably did well. If you worked for Turner, you probably weren't hurting for anything.
Oh, yeah,
But either
definitely. But,
way,
yeah, I mean, still.
it's a. I don't wish, now, to be fair, I have said in the past, I do think AEW will close its doors sooner than later, just for the simple fact of, from what I can tell, the ratings aren't doing great. Now, I'm
Yeah,
not
they can't
saying
even
I
break a
want them
million.
to
They
go
can't even they can't break a
right,
million viewers. How are you going to survive?
right. From what I can tell, and like I said, I have very limited knowledge on this because I do not pay attention. But from the way it seems to me, the only thing keeping that afloat is Tony Khan's money.
Exactly. Well,
Because,
daddy's money.
well, his own, whether it's his old man, I'm not signing checks. I just know it's Khan money. That's all that I know. But I mean, if they're basically the Ted Turners in this situation because it was Ted's money keeping WCW afloat. So as long as Tony Khan's money is keeping AEW going, I don't figure it's going
Well,
to go anywhere. But
technically, I mean, think about this. Whole
I don't know.
Ted Turner owned TNT and TBS and Turner in general, which put
Yeah,
WCW on the Turner networks. Who
right.
runs TNT now and TBS
Warner
now?
Brothers
They could get
Discovery. Warner
they could
Brothers
get rid of
Discovery.
they could get rid of
Well,
fucking
this is
AEW and
go
then Tony
back
Khan.
to
They
go
wouldn't
back a
have it.
couple weeks ago. Whenever I was over talking on Casey's deal, I called in to bring that up because Warner Brothers Discovery is not doing well financially. I
I
mean, you
heard they're
can
going bankrupt.
look at they're not bankrupt, but ever since Discovery bought Warner Brothers and it became Warner Brothers Discovery and David Zaslav became in charge of them, he's been axing stuff left and right. Financially, all of Hollywood is not doing well with the actor strikes and the COVID lockdowns. No, there is no studio in Hollywood that's profitable right now.
Right.
And when it comes to TV contracts for AEW wrestling,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a reason TNT lost the NBA because they didn't have, Warner Brothers Discovery wasn't willing to pump as much money into it. You know what I mean?
No,
So
I get you exactly, man. Like,
it is what it is, and that's what killed WCW was they wanted to change the culture, and I didn't want to put the money into it, and unfortunately, like I said, I can vividly look at that era in my life as a very big piece of my childhood died when TNT went away.
yeah.
Unfortunately, because
You mean
I mean,
WCW, not TNT.
I mean TNT. I mean
Oh,
TNT because the Joe Bob connection, the WCW, it was bigger than just WCW. Whenever that went away, that was a momentous shift in my life. Priorities became different, whatever. And, I'll always look back on it, but I'm not going to be one of those guys that, oh, well, WCW can come back. We can sell the rights to this part. It's never going to happen. It's not
no, it's
going
dead. It's
anywhere.
gone.
It's, I
It's
mean,
gone.
It's the memories that
look
we
at how
make.
many times have they tried to remake your favorite childhood movie and it just gets worse? I
Yeah.
mean,
Uh,
you know what I mean? You might luck out and get something good, but more than likely it's probably going to suck. So,
Especially nowadays.
right.
um,
Well,
yeah.
I mean, I love the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I lucked out whenever they remade it in 2003, and it was equally as good as the original film. I adore both of those. But then they tried again to do it last year or 2 years ago, whatever, and it was god awful woke shit. It was not watchable.
I didn't even know they
So
made another one.
they did it on Netflix. It was a Netflix
Ah,
exclusive thing. It
that makes sense.
there's two scenes in the whole movie worth watching. The rest of it leftist shit. Don't even pay attention.
Uh,
So but that's the whole thing. I mean, WCW was great. The '90s, the fanfare, the Monday Night Wars. Hell, there's still profit on the Monday Night Wars. Just go to your toy aisle. At least half of the wrestlers you'll see will be Monday Night Wars, related. And
yeah,
you're wearing the merchandise right now. So they're still
yeah.
making money from it. And
I mean, hell, think about it this way. Even when WWF bought WCW, they buried everybody in that company, including Sting. Even though it took like 20 years to bring Sting in, they
of
killed him.
course,
They
it was an ego
they
thing.
ruined his career, man.
Well, I think Sting did all right. I mean, he did the
Really?
TNA thing. He
No,
did
the
his.
TNA was
I'm not
great.
talking.
I'm talking about when he went
I'm
to
not
wrestle
talking
to
about the
WWE.
WWEs. I'm talking about just more in general. Sting. Yeah, Sting probably didn't make as much money as he could have if he didn't go to WWE. I mean, let's be honest here. TNA didn't have nearly as much money, but he got to have his pride. And well, what is your pride worth? You know what I'm saying? So,
Well, like they said, like Sting even said, he was the last soldier for WCW. That's why fucking Vince, when he brought him into WWE, he let Triple H kill him, kill the character, and pretty much, fucking
yeah.
the final nail in the coffin. I mean, that's basically what they set out to do. It was.
It's
They even said it in the Sting documentary. They said that it was the reason why Sting didn't come to WWE after the buyout was because he was afraid they didn't know how to portray the Sting character, which we found out 20 years later with the whole fucking burial. That he, especially when he saw Booker T and fucking The Rock comes out and says, "Who the hell are you?" to Booker T. Like, really,
well,
that really set him off.
I don't know how y'all feel about this, but I've thought about it in the past. For me, that Crow character should have died the second he beat Hogan at Starrcade.
So what, do you think he should have went back to Surfer Sting?
No, you never go back. Which I guess he did kind of evolve a little bit. He talked more. Then he did the Wolfpack Sting thing. But the whole point of the Crow Sting was he was mysterious. He came down from the ceiling. He wasn't part of the locker room. Whenever we saw
Right.
him at Starrcade, he comes out from the locker room. It wasn't the same Sting. I
Yeah,
mean,
they
have
should
you
have
ever really
fucking.
noticed that?
No, I agree. Like, literally, I thought Starrcade 97, he should have came down from the rafters just like he did every other
Right.
time.
You know, he could he could have gone back to the locker room after he won, but
Hmm.
he's the man spent 18 months not saying a word, doing anything,
Yeah,
and
didn't
then the
wrestle, didn't get
night
a tan, nothing.
and then the night he gets finally what he wants, he just goes back to a normal guy. That like as a kid, I didn't notice it. It wasn't until years later when I'm like, well, that doesn't really fit. That doesn't match. You know what I mean? And it was, I don't know. It was,
No,
for
you're right,
Sting,
man.
obvious, obviously Sting's going to do that. I mean, the Crow character because that's what made him as big as he did. And hell, he did it till the end of his career. But I don't know. I think I would have maybe improvised on it a little bit, done something different. But hey, look at how much money it made him. So who am I to
Well, let
say?
me ask you with this, though, because we were talking about Starrcade 97. Do you think the NWO should have disbanded right after Sting won the belt?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that should have maybe not immediately, but that should have been the beginning of the end to wrap up pretty quickly. Yeah,
Because think about it
that
this
should
way:
have.
the NWO made WCW money, but at the same time, it killed WCW at the same time because everybody and their mama joined the NWO. I mean, hell, you had Vincent in the NWO. You had fucking
everybody,
Disco Inferno
everybody and
in
their
fucking the
dog,
NWO. Exactly.
everybody and their dog was an NWO member at some point, or
And the
some
only thing I
version
didn't
of the
like,
WO, LWO, NWO Wolfpack, whatever it is.
right.
Yep.
Hell, you even had Sting in the NWO Wolfpack. Sting was a WCW guy. Why the fuck is he donning the NWO? He was fighting the NWO for the longest time. It doesn't matter if it was Kevin Nash, Lex Luger, Macho Man, and Conan.
That's Starrcade 97. I mean, is it a good pay-per-view to go back and watch? No. I mean,
No.
honestly, not looking the rose-colored glasses, it's not. I mean, you've got most of your big stars are sitting in the crowd when they should be in the ring. Let's be honest.
Well, they were all getting hyped up for that Sting Hogan match.
Right, but I mean, you got like your stars sitting out in the crowd eating a corn dog. They should be doing something else. But at the same time, it will forever be my favorite just because of the nostalgia and the memories I have attached to it. So, I give it a lot of leeway for, whatever.
Well, I agree. It's like, the episode 1 was all right. We still got 3 more episodes. So next 3 weeks they will have.
They're really milking 4 episodes of this WCW shit.
Yeah, because they got a lot of Turner executives that are in there. Like Brad Siegel's on there, Ted Turner Jr. is on there, Goldberg's gonna be on there. Fucking
so
Bret Hart. I'm so tired of Bret Hart.
They're basically just doing a TV version of that book, that the WCW book, whatever that was.
They have Guy Evans on there. Yeah, Guy Evans is on there.
Guy Evans' book, yeah.
Yep.
So they're just making a TV show out of his book, basically. This is all this is.
Pretty much. I mean, like the guys from 7 Buck Productions said that we can't just tell the WCW story in one show. We have to do this for 4 episodes because there's so much. They're going to be going deep in depth of what actually went on. Like they have footage of that's never been seen, that nobody has seen behind the scenes stuff that we are now seeing for the first time ever. And this hasn't been on like the Rise and Fall of WCW DVD, that hasn't been on the Monday Night Wars, none of this.
How is it possible all these years later there's never before seen footage? I find that hard.
Because people have cam videos and videos in general that hasn't seen the light of day in almost 25 years, dude. Like in the beginning of the first episode, there was a fan that had the camcorder, and he was recording shit that happened during the day before Nitro. It was crazy. Like they were having this big event that was going on prior to the last Nitro, like for the spring breakout 2001, which was the last Nitro, and there's so much footage that they're just showing, and it's like I never saw this. Like when the fireworks happened,
I guess fan footage is believable, but like
right.
As far as like I was referring prior to more like footage that the company shot. Like I would have thought that would have been seen 1,000 times.
No, like this is like some crazy shit. Like I guess when the beginning of the last Nitro, when all the fireworks are going off, so one of the fireworks pyrotechnicians hit one of the hotels and actually caught the hotel on fire. That was on the cam.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I was looking at it. I'm like, whoa.
Y'all remember when WWE tried to bring back Starrcade?
Yeah, that was a fucking shit. Yeah. That was horrible. A 1-hour fucking show on WWE Network, which was fucking shitty. It wasn't worth watching. Trust me. It wasn't.
Well, I mean, I don't figure it is. It's modern wrestling, which I mean, I've already stated I'm not really, I'm not, I'm not going out of my way to watch it. I'll put it to you that way.
I mean,
But
hell, that's just like with now Survivor Series not being Survivor Series matches anymore, and they're putting in war games. It's like you guys sit there and claim you hate WCW
yeah,
so much, but yet you're using their concepts like the Great American Bash, Halloween Havoc,
well,
the war
you know
games.
what? They
I
bought it.
mean,
It's theirs now. I mean,
yeah, I
it
know.
sucks, but it's the way that it is. I mean, to the victor
Yeah,
go the spoils. That's just that's
right.
life.
No,
But
it is. I
I don't
agree.
know. You know, like I said, I'm not happy that WCW went away. I will for. I mean, I still have my TNT Monster Vision T-shirt that I don't really wear it much just because I don't want it to wear out. It's a just a keepsake I'll probably have forever. But
Mm.
you know, it's a time in life that we'll never get back. That it holds happy memories. But
It was fun while it lasted.
well, everything has a good run. I mean, your favorite whatever is going to eventually go away, whether it's a TV show or a movie or your sports teams on. Your sports teams are only going to be good for so long before you don't win a championship for 27 fucking years. Fuck off, Dallas Cowboys. But you
Oh, hey, think
know,
about it this way: the Raiders haven't won one since
hey,
'83, so that's like
the
41 years.
'90s, the '90s were really good for me. My football team was winning, and I had my shows. Now, neither of those things are a thing, so it is what it is. But on the brighter side, I got Joe Bob came back. The West Drive-In is ripping and roaring, and it's doing great. And there's no signs of slowing down. So,
Let's hope so. Let's hope
life,
it's well and
life. Well, life gives and it takes away. That's how it goes. And you know, enjoy it for what it is. It's you know, I can still go on YouTube and I can watch all of those or most of the classic clips of Monster Vision. Hell, there's entire playlists of Joe Bob Monster Vision stuff. I can go back and just rewatch at my own leisure. So, I technically still have it. It's fine. It's just,
yeah,
not like it used to be. It's not as special.
right,
It's, if
right,
WCW came back tomorrow, it's not going to be the same thing.
right.
You're not 10 years old anymore. It's not going to, it's going to be in name only kind of WCW, which sucks.
I
But,
don't. To be honest with you, I don't want it to come back. I don't think. Like look what WWE did with the fucking ECW one night stands and the ECW the WWE ECW. It was horrible.
one night stand, the pay per view one night stand was pretty good. I do remember enjoying that one.
No. I'm talking about yeah, the pay per view, the 05 and 06 pay per views were good, but I'm talking about look at the TV show on Sci-Fi. That was god awful. You had
Oh
the
yeah.
Sandman literally caning a fucking zombie.
Just
That's
say,
worse than
who's
the
that zombie
Yeti.
fucker? That was
Yeah.
that was great. I loved that. That was hilarious. It's this zombie guy out there getting his ass whooped. It's like, what the fuck is this? It's hilarious.
I I could not imagine what they would have done if they would have brought back WCW. It would have probably been god awful.
It's not. It's never coming back. And you know what? That's fine.
Yeah, I'm happy
It's
for
kind
it.
of like one of my favorite bands ever in the world. It was a Texas country. They're a they're a Texas country band, but they're like a rock country mix. Their name was
Mm,
Cross Canadian Ragweed, and I don't think they ever got big, like really big or famous outside of like the Texas Oklahoma area, but they were huge down here,
yeah.
and uh, like they were so big, like they like down here we have our own little music scene that's called the Red Dirt Music Scene, and it's
Mm,
called the Red Dirt Music Scene because of the red dirt down here. And this is
red
our
clay,
music. We do it our way. Huh?
red clay, right?
No, yeah, it's like a red clay kind of thing. And Cross Canadian Ragweed was one of the proprietors. Well, I mean, it technically started with like Willie and Waylon and them back in the day. But whenever
Hmm.
guys like Kevin Fowler, Pat Green, Cross Canadian Ragweed, Jason Boland and the Stragglers, Aaron Watson, Randy Rogers Band, so many of these guys from the Texas area, Oklahoma area, they made it huge. Well, Ragweed was one of the top bands in this. And then they broke up. And then for
Wow.
years, yeah, let's be honest. All of the good bands end up breaking up. That's just the way that
Yeah. I
life
mean, think
goes.
about it. Hell. Look at Pantera. Like right after fucking
Yeah,
Phil Anselmo was a fucking dick and was a heroin addict, fucking pretty much,
right,
ruined Pantera, and then fucking that idiot fucking Nathan goes and kills fucking Dimebag, and then like
right.
20 years later, Phil and Rex want to bring back fucking Pantera. It's not Pantera anymore because the
No,
original
it's
two
not.
members that made Pantera aren't even
It's
alive. Vinnie
Pantera in
Paul's
name
dead,
only.
and
It's
Dimebag's exactly. It's a cash grab, and they're on concert tours now. It's like I
well, that's
won't
what I'm
pay my
saying.
money to see that shit.
Whenever Ragweed broke up, people were pissed, and then the lead singer Cody Canada, guy out of Oklahoma, badass dude. I've met him 100 times. He started a new band. He took like anytime Cody Canada would go do a concert with his new band, people would scream, we want ragweed, we want ragweed. Well, it's never coming back. I mean, and even if it did, the guys are older now. It's not going to be the same. You gotta let the past die. You gotta
Hmm.
move forward in life.
Yeah.
And for so many people, they can't do that. And honestly, I
No.
find that kind of sad. I really and truly
Yeah.
do because You know, how do you ever find joy if you're constantly looking back? That's just one of
Ask
those
Bret
things.
Hart that. He's still bitter.
Well, Bret Hart's a miserable fuck. He's got. I used to think Bret Hart had pine cones stuck up his ass that he couldn't get out. He just looked like one of
Yeah.
those kind of guys.
Dude, he was
I
such
mean,
a fucking asshole on that documentary tonight. Like, he literally was like, oh, good riddance. I'm
well, he's
glad
always
that
been.
company's dead. It's
Yeah,
like, dude, you could have stayed your
he
ass in
only went there for the
WWF.
money either way. The
Exactly.
only reason he went there was because he couldn't get money from the other side.
Exactly.
It's all a business. I mean, right before I called in, I heard y'all talking about how Flair was shitting on the company. I'm not
Yeah.
surprised because guess what? WWE won. If WCW had won, Ric Flair would be shitting on WWE. Ric Flair's smart enough to know, hey, this other thing's dead. I'm not going to make any money off of it. I might make some money off of these other guys. So guess what? Go them. I get
Right.
why he's doing it. He's not
But at the
stupid.
same time, though, Ric Flair didn't make his name in WWF. He made his name in Jim Crockett and the
Right.
NWA and WCW. So you're shitting on your whole career if you think about it.
No, I get that. No, I'm not saying that I agree with him, but I know why he's doing what he's doing because hey, you know, he might make money. I get it. I can't blame him. I wouldn't do it, but whatever.
Right.
I don't know. It is what it is. It sucks that WCW died,
Yep.
but I'll be real honest with you. After Sting won the title, after Sting beat Hogan, I was good. I mean, just gun to my head. That's kind of all. That's kind of all I really needed to see out of wrestling to be fulfilled. I mean,
Right.
I can remember so many other things that happened after that in WCW, but it doesn't really. Okay, fine. Diamond Dallas Page, Goldberg, all of the things. But once I saw Sting hold that title up, that was it for me. Looking back
Yeah.
on it now, everything after that was less than. And there's no moment there's no moment for me in WWF that like, oh, that moment right there meant so much. You know, I never had that. I would
Same
watch
here.
WWF, but I never, you know, oh my God, I loved fill in the blank. I can't do that with WWF.
Right.
You know, with WCW, I can. But like I
Right.
said, for me, the pinnacle moment for me in my wrestling fandom was Sting winning that title. Whether it was a fuck finish or quick count, I don't care. None of that matters to me.
Right.
Sting won. Did he? You know, he had to give it up the next night. I don't fucking care. Sting
Yeah,
won.
that was
That's all that
bullshit
matters.
too. Like literally, he wins it at fucking Starrcade, and the next night on Nitro, they reverse the fucking
Right.
decision, which fucking pissed off a whole bunch of people. Because literally, besides
Oh, I was
Sting, that was
pissed. Yeah.
actually Sting's fucking first time. Because he literally looks at JJ Dillon and says, "You have no guts," and then he looks at Hogan and says, "You're a fucking dead man." Because it's like,
Oh, yeah.
we
No, I'm not
literally,
saying it wasn't retarded. And at the moment, as a kid watching that, oh boy, I was fit to be tied. I was ready to fight people. I'll be honest with you. But you know, looking back on it now, it's like that was the pinnacle for me. That getting, you know, from everything from me working my butt off extra, you know, to pay for that pay per view myself. I can remember handing my old man the money in hand right there in our living room to pay for that pay per view. I can remember
oh yeah,
every moment. I can remember the build up, just the anticipation, the all of the cool shit, and then getting to sit down and watch it staying up late that Sunday night. It was so cool. You know, I recorded the whole thing.
dude, it
That
was
to me
great
was
going
it.
to school that next morning,
Oh
fucking
yeah.
that Monday right after, and all the
Oh yeah.
kids were all discussing it. That's what was great.
Well,
It's like literally, we're like fucking kids going to elementary school or middle school talking about fucking
excuse me,
how
man.
Sting just beat Hogan. Yeah, you're good. And it's just like, and think about it, back in our day, we literally
Well,
had fucking gang fights over wrestling.
well,
Literally, we had there was
that's
there
what was
was
so funny
WCW
was
fans and the WWF fans actually fighting one another, and then you had NWO fans that would fight the WCW fans and the fucking WWF fans. It's like,
not ever,
wow,
not everybody. You know, it wasn't like it is now where something happens and immediately everybody knows about it because of social media. The only way
right?
you knew what happened was if you bought the pay per view.
Or you watch
Well,
Nitro, right?
but no, but I'm talking about that next morning going to school.
Right,
Not ever, you know, that next Nitro hadn't happened yet, so they hadn't seen who won. So,
right.
like, you know, I was never like an outcast. I mean, hell, I was a football player. I was, you know, whatever. I was always pretty popular as a kid, but the I felt real cool that next morning, that Monday morning, walking into school because not only did I know who won, but I got to see how it happened. You know, I had the
Right.
pay per view. I,
No, so
dude, I
did I.
fucking told everybody. I told everybody I was buying that pay per view. You know, and I had some friends over to watch it with me, whatever. But you know, from that one bleak moment, life was like extra cool. You know, but
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
it's
it's
like that feeling you get, especially you're as a little kid. You're just like, this is fucking awesome.
right. Well, you know, life only gets harder the older you get, and
Mm-hmm.
that's why, like I said, that's why I have my Joe Bob, my Joe Bob. Well, technically, it's a Last Drive-In Joe Bob figure, but I have the Monster Vision pen that I set in front of it just because it matches. It's all the same thing, you know,
Right.
and that's why I praise the Last Drive-In so much. It is because it's my old favorite thing new again, you know, and I don't know how long the Last Drive-In will go. It might be 5 years or fuck. There could be an AOL Time Warner come in with AMC and fuck that up too. For all I know, anything could
Isn't it
fucking
on
happen.
Shutter?
Shutter's owned by AMC,
Okay.
so yeah, Shutter is a subsidiary of the AMC corporation.
But it's
But
not like on like a rating system anymore, though. That's a big
no,
difference.
no, 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 no. It's all behind paywall. That's why it's not rated. The only times, like every once in a while, they'll do a special for AMC, like for an episode of Walking Dead or something. But if you want to watch The Last Drive-In, you either have to have Shutter or AMC Plus. That's the only two ways to watch it.
Uh
So,
huh.
but
Interesting.
yeah, no, it's cool. It's like I said, I don't get WCW. That's dead and gone. But like I said, I don't really care about wrestling. I don't give a fuck. It's
Right.
if I want to see fighting, I'll go watch UFC. To me, that's more entertaining. It is what it is.
I haven't watched UFC in fucking years either.
And I'll be
That's
honest with
crazy.
you, I rarely watch that. I'll see highlights, and that's about all I need. I'd rather watch movies at this point in time in life. You know me. I love my movies. So,
Oh yeah, yeah.
it's.
If you, just for FYI for anybody that's out here listening to us, because we did have some people in here in the chat earlier. If you're still watching, Tex is a huge movie buff. He's a huge horror movie fan. Him and our buddy Frank and their friend Jeremy and Cora, they do movie reviews. For anybody that they talk, it's
Oh,
all genres. It's not just horror. They talk
oh, yeah.
every
No, we
genre.
cover everything. No. But yeah, I mean, that's me. I'm a movie guy. If I've got, you know, 2 hours on a Monday night or 3 hours on a Monday night, I'm probably watching a movie. That's my go-to. Or I'm watching sports. Sports to me kind of filled the place of wrestling. I was always a sports fan, but I'm hell. It's almost football season right now. I'm watching baseball. So you know
Yeah, I heard about my
I'm
Tigers
smoking
putting a
for.
whoop on your your Rangers. I
Oh
heard about
yeah,
that.
they didn't beat much. The fuck, dude. All of our good players are on the fucking injured list right now. They've
And
been that
think
way
about it
all
this way,
fucking
dude.
year.
The Tigers are in
It's
the
been
shitter.
horrible.
So you, yeah,
We are
dude.
too.
Tigers are in the
Yeah,
shitter. Oh
it's
yeah.
we're like
Wow.
the Rangers are like they're like one or two games under 500 right now. But
Wow.
Yeah.
but at this time last year, they were in the exact same place with injuries out the ass and everything else.
And you won the
We've
World
got
Series.
right. I mean, we still have all of the talent that we did last year. It's just you, fuck, dude. A baseball season is 162 games. It
Right.
is impossible to be on top all year long.
Oh
There,
no, of
you
course
have
not.
to be hot at the right times. What I'm hoping for here is that the Rangers get all their bad luck out of just get it all out right now.
Right.
Since we're down in the dumps, let's just go ahead and suck till there's no suck left. Then we can be good again. Let's get everybody healthy and go. And it's starting to turn around, but you know what? It takes time, and you can't win every year. That's another thing as a sports fan you have to know ahead of. Just it's you're not always going to be good. That's why championships matter when you
Oh
get
yeah.
them.
Oh, I totally agree. I mean, come on, think about it. My Georgia Bulldogs, they didn't win. They the last time they won prior to the back-to-back national championships was 1980, dude. I wasn't even born in 1980.
Right.
I never got to
Well,
see it until
I
the last
guess.
2 years.
Well, technically, you could be like MIKEL and just like whoever's winning at that point in time, and just say you've always been a fan and you're always on top. I have noticed that about MIKEL over there.
No,
Just by the way. No,
no,
come on. Hey,
I mean,
every time I
hell,
every time I
no.
talk to you, oh, I'm a Red Sox, I'm a Cubs, I'm a Golden Showers fan, I'm a whatever, I'm a blah blah blah. You're just all over the place. Come on.
yeah. I
Uh,
mean, hell, dude. There's
no,
like you
no.
said, the Cowboys. You haven't seen them win what since '95.
Yeah,
That's a long. Dude, that's fucking like over
Yeah.
30 years.
Yeah. Oh, tell me about it. I know.
Oh my
It's
God.
just
It's
crazy that we
it,
love these teams, and half the time they're
well,
shit.
that I love the Dallas Cowboys so much. I can't root for anybody else.
Let me ask
I
you, because
can't
you said you
have.
love them so much. Do you have a Dallas Cowboys tattoo?
I have a star tattoo. Yeah, it's not like colored
Okay.
in blue or anything. It's just like an outline.
Oh,
But yeah, I've got a star tattoo.
so you don't
It's
have
the
a
Cowboy
complete like
star.
Cowboys name and a star on you like MIKEL does.
No, no. Me and a friend of mine had built a tattoo gun years ago.
Right. Oh, so it's a jailhouse tattoo gun.
No, it's a legitimate electric powered tattoo gun. We just
Okay.
built it ourselves, and
Huh.
we were just practicing. And I said, "Give me a cowboy star." And to be honest with you, the only reason I did that was because we happened to be at my house when we built it, and I was looking at a cowboy poster on the wall. And the first thing I saw was the Cowboys poster that was there. So
Wow.
you
That's
know,
crazy.
it, if I had seen like I don't know, a Batman logo, it may have been a Batman logo. It could have been anything.
It was just like whatever you saw
No.
first. Give me the fucking tattoo. I don't care.
Yeah, literally, that's literally. Now, there was some inebriation at the time, I will say that. But,
That's not
you
good.
know, yeah, half of the
I heard
decisions I made
tattoos if you're
were
like
inebriated.
drunk is not good.
Well, it's not bad. It's just, I mean, it's on the outside of my forearm, and it's just like the outline of it. And honestly, as tan as my arms are, you kind of can barely see it most times. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
But that's
I
the
don't know.
thing.
My
I'll forever love the Dallas Cowboys. You know, win, lose, or draw. We're going to suck these next couple years because, we put
Yeah.
ourselves within our own tune. But,
oh, like you guys always say, there's always next year. That's isn't that your guys' model, right?
hey, the Cowboys have been rebuilding since 1995, goddamn it. It is what it is.
Jeez. Yeah, no, I agree. The Raiders have been rebuilding since '83. I get it.
I
I
mean, there's
get it.
no. Now, well, let me rephrase that. The Cowboys are just good enough to get close to where you think they might have a chance, and then they break your heart. That's what the Dallas Cowboys do.
Yeah, it's like that fisherman with the dollar that says you almost had it.
Right, right. Like they'll get to the playoffs. They might even win a game, and you think, well, maybe if things go just right, and then they yank the rug out from under you.
Hmm.
But
And then you have
it's not
people
easy
like
to be.
MIKEL going off and fucking cussing up a storm and fucking telling Jerry Jones
Uh,
how he feels online.
well, you know, if we worry about what McKell thought, we're doing worse off than that either way.
True. Right.
But
This is true.
you know, I I'm loyal to the things that I care about. I'm a my allegiances never change. You know, I'll forever be an Earnhardt guy. I'll forever be a cowboy. I'll forever, all of these things. It's just
Hmm.
these are the things that make me me. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, it's kind of really sad if you think about it, because didn't Earnhardt die in 2001?
Yep,
Yeah.
February 18th, 2001.
So isn't that fucked up? Because think about it, 2001 was a really fucked up year.
Oh, it was
Earnhardt
horrible.
dies,
Yeah, I mean,
and then
you
WCW
started
went
with
under, and then
yeah,
fucking 9/11.
yeah. 2001 can jump off in the lake, as they say. But
Jeez.
yeah, it was not good. But I mean, it's like I was reading today. Dale Jr. You know, Earnhardt Sr. may have died, but Dale Jr. is still up and going. He not only owns his race team, but Earnhardt Jr. got the rights back to use the number 8. I
Oh
can't
yeah,
wait
it's
for this.
Oh,
Budweiser
hell,
one. Yeah, it's Budweiser car.
hell
I don't.
yeah.
Well, I don't know if it's going to be Budweiser or not. I haven't because Dale Jr. posted on Twitter today a big trademark announcement on his newest podcast, which I've already downloaded. I'm going to listen to it as I'm going to bed tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But the trademark did leak out last week that he applied for the trademark of the same style number 8, that big wide fat 8 that was on his car. So
yeah,
it may not be Dale Jr. in the car, but it will be a Dale Jr. owned number 8 car on some level. And the I, even though Dale Sr. is not in the 3 car, I still support it. That's why I'm a big fan of Austin Dillon. Even though he sucks this year, I still, as I told my kid, I will root for whoever's driving the number 3 car. I can't not root for that number. So,
right. No, I agree. Like for your example, because think about it this way: those cars, the NASCAR cars, like those Monte Carlos back in the day, they were so fucking cool, dude. Like the cars
I'm looking
now,
at them on my
they
shelf
don't
right
look
now.
as
I've got a whole
cool, man.
bunch of them.
Like, because when you were talking about that, he got the number 8 back. I instantly think of that red Monte Carlo with the number 8 at the Budweiser. That's what I remember.
Hang on, I'll show you. I've got that red number 8 Monte Carlo right here. Turn some lights on. Oh, this is his. I believe this is the rookie car of that 8 car. It's the metal die cast. It's the 112th model, I believe it is. Get out of this here.
You got to get a 126 or 124, the actual nice size one. You can still find them for cheap.
Well, this is the one. This is the bigger one. This is the made out of metal one. I'll show you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Metal.
Oh yeah, dude, that is
rubber
fucking
tires.
sweet. Yo,
the hood.
I have a Slim Jim's Halloween Havoc one just like that. Well, I did.
Hood opens up.
I lost it. Yep, it has
Motor,
the engine in there.
Trunk opens.
Mm-hmm.
I've got some Earnhardt Juniors, some seniors. I'll show you these two.
Oh yeah, dude. Every time I think of the number 3, the black, I think of the Goodwrench fucking Monte Carlo.
Yep.
Just like with the
I've got that car.
Junior. I think of that red.
Two of my favorite pieces that I've got. These came out in 2003 and 2004. These came out from 2001 to 2003.
Yeah.
Or the figures. Let's see here.
But that Batman one was pretty fucking sick, though. The 88 one? Oh, yeah, that's pretty fucking sweet. That's what, 97 when he won it?
98.
98, okay.
Yeah, it's highly detailed. You can see the face and whatever. And then I've got the Dale Jr. as well.
Oh, that is cool. Now, what trophies are those that they win? What trophies are those? Oh, the 500. Okay.
Nice. Yeah, that's a Harley J. Earl Trophy. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 2004 Daytona 500 champion. But yeah, it was. I've got all kinds of Earnhardt stuff.
Now let me ask you this, Tex, because I know you're a big Earnhardt Senior fan and Junior fan. So when Earnhardt crashed on turn 4, right? It was turn 4, right? Because he was actually he was letting Junior get ahead, right? And then he crashed, right?
The last lap of the 01 500, this was the first broadcast of NASCAR that Fox ever had. Literally, it was their first race, and it's kind of odd. It's like watching kind of prophetic kind of stuff. Dale Earnhardt did an interview for Fox, and you can go back. It's on YouTube. where he's
Mhm.
sitting back
Yeah.
in his chair by his camper, and they're interviewing him, and he's talking about you're about to see something that you ain't never seen before, and he's just talking about a good race. And
Wow.
race happens, uh, get to the last lap. Michael Waltrip in the 15 car, Dale Jr. in the number 8 car, which those were Dale Earnhardt Incorporated cars that Dale Earnhardt owned. And
Yeah.
basically, Dale Sr. was in third place, and he's just playing defense. Dale Earnhardt Sr. is literally blocking 40 cars behind him, so his 2 cars could get the finish. And
Wow.
had the seatbelt break, and it cost him his life. God rest his soul. But yeah, so
Jeez, that's horrible.
there's the Joe Bob Briggs figure.
Oh, that is fucking cool.
Yeah,
That
I mean
is
it's
fucking. He's
smaller.
got
It's
beer in
only
his hand,
yeah. He's got the beer in his hand. It comes with a little
cowboy
drive-in
hat.
mic. It was
Oh, that is cool.
yeah. There you go. Yeah,
Now you said that's from the
and then
last drive-in, right?
yeah, this is from this. Shutter had these made like a year ago, and then
Right.
I tried to get one when they came out, but they sold out quick. I had to get it off of eBay, but then I've also got the Monster Vision pen, little
Oh, that's
enamel pen.
cool.
It's made out of metal. It's got like
Oh,
pen
that's
backs where you can put it on whatever. I just keep it on the shelf with my Joe Bob figure, but
nice.
yeah, I got all kinds of cool shit. So like I
That is
said,
pretty cool.
the the past, things come and go, but enjoy
The
it while it's
memories,
here.
the memories remain. That's all we have left.
That's well, I mean, you know, shit happens. You got to appreciate
Yeah,
it while it's here.
exactly. I
You,
mean, well, in
you
some
can't
cases,
you
I
can't
mean,
live in the
like
moment.
Earnhardt, right? Like Earnhardt is like that was dramatic. I mean, just to think
Well,
about, you're a fan of his and you saw him die. Think about Junior.
I'll
He's literally in the race
I'll
and his old
never
man just dies right there.
I'll never forget. Oh yeah, no, I've watched all the documentaries about Earnhardt
Me too.
dying that they've made throughout the years,
Hell,
and
the new one on Hulu. Have you seen that one?
No.
no,
No.
I haven't
No.
seen it yet. I haven't gotten around to it, but like I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I'm not an emotional dude, but I finally got to go to Daytona to tour the track, and it was there was 2 moments that really got to me. I'll be honest with you. Well, my stepdad had just passed away, and this is part of the trip that we were spreading his ashes around.
Hmm.
And he was a big Earnhardt guy as well. There's there's a big Dale Earnhardt statue out front,
Yeah.
and
Ah,
it's like in a big flower garden and everything else. And I put my stepdad's ashes at the Earnhardt statue, and I just spread. Like we literally got to go to the spotter stand on top of the whole track. You could see
oh wow.
everything, and that was the first time I ever saw turn 4. Like I knew exactly on the wall where Earnhardt hit. Like I've seen that clip so many times, I just instinctively knew exactly where it was.
Is the mark still there?
And oh no,
Yeah.
it's been painted over 1,000 times since
Oh,
then.
okay.
Yeah.
You'd think they would keep
After
that
every
there.
no, well, that'd be kind of morbid to do. I see why they do it, but
Right.
they have to repaint so it looks good on TV or whatever. But yeah, that it was an emotional day for me. I'll be honest with you. It was, I mean, for years I had seen this and I loved it, and to get to be at this cathartic moment, you just absorb it all, and you feel all of the things that have been such a big part of your life, and
Hmm.
it's just one of those things. It's what are you going to do?
Yeah, it's very surreal.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, it's a gnarly moment whenever you're, you know, it would be like getting to go back to your favorite WCW, event,
See, I'm
something
glad
of the
though
sort.
I got to live that. So it's like I didn't get to watch it on TV. I lived it. That's what was fucking
Yeah.
great. Like I literally
Well,
saw fucking Lex Luger pick up Hogan and rack him and win the title. And the fucking Palace Auburn Hills fucking blew up. The roof literally blew off
well,
the
that's
fucking
me, dude.
stadium
It's
because of that.
anytime I see if I were to go back and watch, Sting beat Hogan at Starcade '97, I can see me sitting in my living room for the house that we just moved into that looks like crap. The house that we got was from my great granny, and it
Mm,
was in shambles. Like we were redoing everything. Like
I can agree.
half of the walls weren't even covered. Like they didn't even have sheetrock. We were tearing stuff out at the time. I was
Oh
literally
yeah.
sleeping in the living room. I didn't even have a bedroom yet, and
Wow.
oh, it was the time. And I'm sitting there with my dog Aikman. That was my dog at the time.
Hmm.
Yes, he was named after Troy Aikman, of course, the greatest quarterback to ever play football. And like I told you, man, I'm a Cowboys lifer. I've had multiple dogs named after Cowboy quarterbacks, and
What about Dak
I was sitting.
Prescott?
I've never had a Dak. I've had a Roger. I've had an Aikman, and then I had a Romo. I've had three. So,
Oh yeah, that's
but
right.
you know,
And now
and
you got a Scott Taylor Compton.
yeah, I couldn't really name a female dog a boy name. That'd be weird.
Right.
So
Even though is Scout
I had to.
really a fucking girl's name? I mean, how many girls
Oh,
besides her,
it's her name.
experience?
So I don't know.
Right.
There, there's one girl that has it, so that's good. Good enough for me.
Right.
But no, I was uh, sitting there with my dog and watching, Sting win, and I can still watch that clip today and picture me sitting there watching it. I'll never forget it. So,
Oh yeah. That's
but it
crazy.
is what it is.
Oh yeah.
But either way, I probably need to get to bed. I should have been in
Yeah, I
bed like
said we
2 hours ago.
yeah,
But
we did a 2 hour podcast. We really appreciate you coming on, Tex, and having talk about WCW with us and tell about your fond moments and all that. Even though we'll be back
oh,
next Tuesday to talk about the same
yeah.
thing on the next episode, but
Well, that's
we appreciate you.
that's why I asked y'all talking WCW. Again. I don't see it like
We're milking
you got
it.
to be real passionate. You have to be real passionate about the wrestling to keep talking about it. That's why I, kind of tease Casey about it or whatever. But it's all good. You like what you like. It is what it is.
I'm just milking it. I'm just watching the Vice TV episodes for the next 3 weeks, and after that, I already know all of this story. I know everything that what happened went on. I just want to see the backstage stuff, what they have. That's pretty much it.
I can't believe that they're still milking this thing for TV money. That surprises me more.
It's The
Like you
Rock's
would
idea.
think.
The Rock, you would think The Rock, he was a WWF guy. His whole family was WWF. Why are you producing something that the competition was trying to put you out of business? And he's like, I'm so
Well,
fascinated with WCW. It's like they try to take your job from you. They try to, I don't understand how you're
it's
fascinated.
that's like like whenever Casey would review these Dark Sides of the Ring episodes.
Right.
Like you already know these stories. Like you've heard these stories 1,000 times on other podcasts.
Hmm.
Like, where's the appeal? You already know this, but who am I to talk? I'm the guy that can watch a movie 15 times over and over again and never get tired of it. So,
Right. Yeah.
it is what
Well,
it is.
you want to plug your shit?
If you want to, we just did
Because we got
a
people watching. That's why.
over on the Harsh Truth. I'm sure MIKEL can put it in the comments or whatever. We just did a review of Children of the Corn, which was fun. It was Frank wasn't there tonight; he had to work, so it was just Cora, Jeremy, and myself. So kind of a different
How did
change of
that work?
pace. But
How does that
how
work
did
though?
what work?
Because doesn't Frank have all the control of the channel?
Well, he just sent what Jeremy needed to basically run.
Oh, okay.
It's,
Right, gotcha.
it was
No, keep
still
going.
it was still on Frank's channel. Jeremy was just driving the car for us. But yeah, we just did a Children of the Corn review, and then previous to that, we did a. If you would like to see me looking like a fucking clown, go watch our Devil's Rejects review. We did that one.
Dude, I screenshotted that shit. That was great.
Dude, I took a shower and there was still paint that I missed on the back of my head. Like I went to work the next day, still had that shit on the back of my head. Like somebody pointed it out. It was whatever. But yeah,
Should have had your
we
girl help you fucking wash it off.
well, I had to have her help me just put the damn makeup on, even because
I know you.
hell, I don't do
Yep.
makeup. I don't know dick all about
Hey,
it.
it was pretty good
But
though. I mean,
wasn't bad. I do okay. But yeah, we talk movies every Tuesday and Thursday, and it's we just hang out and have fun. We don't take ourselves too seriously. It's like tonight. I crapped all over Children of the Corn because that movie sucks and that whole franchise has got awful. But it's all good.
yeah, I was never a fan of that show, that movie franchise.
If you like
I could never get
corn,
into it.
it's great. Other than that, it's boring as shit. But go over there and watch. Maybe you'll like it. We finally got over 700 subscribers. We're up to 705.
Congratulations. Hey,
So
you guys,
we
you and Casey guys are actually right there together.
yeah we find like once we got to 500, we had to fight to get to 500, and then it got a little bit easier after that. But go subscribe. It'll be fun. So it's all good.
Yeah, let's get Frank to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and let's get Casey
Hey,
to 1,000
get us
subscribers
to a
by the year.
thousand, and we'll do another hangout stream of some kind or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, you guys
Coming
will be
up this
monetized then.
Thursday. Coming up this Thursday, we're going to do something a little bit different. Frank will be out as well. We're going to be doing a top 5 of the year so far of new movies that have came out.
Hmm.
So basically, Cora, Jeremy, and myself, we will all be giving our top 5 films that we have seen this year, and which 5 are we anticipating seeing. So there'll be a little change of pace. There won't be any homework required for watching of the episode. So it'll be
Or
fun.
people getting pissed off and fucking shitting on the whole franchise.
And if you're getting pissed off about it, that's on you. I really don't give a
I was
fuck.
talking
I'm here
about
to give them.
you, how you were ripping
Oh
Children of
no,
the Corn, a new one.
no. Oh, dude, fuck Children of the Corn. It's
I
a
do have to
horrible
say
movie.
though, the House of a Thousand Corpse episode and the Devil's Rejects are probably my favorite ones of the year that you guys have done review on. To be
Oh,
honest
me
with you.
too. I mean, my passion for the Rob Zombie films.
Oh yeah,
I've been waiting
the
on
only
those.
guy, the only
Original.
guy that loves the Rob Zombie Halloween movies. I mean, they're okay. I like them, but
Oh,
you
dude,
love them like
I love that
religiously.
'70s era grindhouse nastiness. I dig it. I love it. I love it
And
so
I
much.
totally agree
But
with you and Jeremy when you guys were talking about how the Firefly family is exactly like the Manson family, dude. To the T. Otis is definitely Manson.
they
You could
were
definitely tell.
they were designed to be that way. That was intentionally
Yeah,
done.
because Rob Zombie has an
Uh,
obsession with the Manson family. He literally
well,
does. He
yeah,
has that X at his forehead, and he wears a Manson shirt on stage. And he he
they
did
were
the remake of Helter Skelter too.
they were. He comes from a time whenever that was a big thing, so I see why it affected him the way that it did. It makes sense. But yeah,
Right.
I had more fun doing those just because I love the Firefly family films so much, and at some point we're going to be doing the Three from Hell. I don't know when. I mean, nothing's been scheduled yet, but At some point, that will happen. So y'all
Yeah.
come hang out.
My opinion on Three from Hell, I don't like it. They should have just left right after Devil's Rejects. When they got shot up in
I'm
that
mixed on it.
shootout, they should have left it.
I will agree with you wholeheartedly. They should have. He should have ended it with Devil's Rejects, but hell, I contributed to the campaign to even get that film made. Like
Really?
Rob Zombie had to crowdfund that movie, and I want to say I paid like 100 and some odd dollars, just like $150. I got to see the
Hmm.
film early. I got a copy of the DVD, and then I got a really cool poster out of it. Uh,
Huh.
but yeah, it was cool. I got to see it like a month before anybody else up at Alamo
Oh
Draft
yeah.
House, and it was a lot of fun. So
Nice. I mean, I've done two of those crowdfunding things. When Trick or Treat Studios was coming out with the Good Guy doll, I
oh
did
yeah,
that, and then when they had the Friday the 13th, the video game, it was a crowdfunded. I did that too. I
yep,
even got the Savini Jason with that.
yep.
Yeah.
I love that Savini Jason design with the
Oh yeah,
flames
dude, the
coming out of it and
fire,
shit.
yes,
That's
and the
fucking awesome.
pitchfork. Oh hell yeah.
Yeah,
But we could
yeah,
talk about
it's
that another time. I know
gonna be
Texas
cool.
probably
But
got to
yeah,
get to bed.
y'all check us out. We'll be live Thursday night, 7 p.m. Central, and we'll be talking movies and shit. So,
All right, buddy. Well, you have a great night, and
we'll see
thanks for
y'all
coming
later.
on and hanging out with us.
Yeah, I'm exhausted. See
Right.
y'all later.
All right, buddy. Take it easy.
Yeah.
And
Bye.
that was the great Tex from The Harsh Truth. Great buddy of ours, good friend in general, all around. We appreciate him for coming on tonight, and I appreciate my co host, MIKEL, hanging out with us tonight as well, talking about who killed WCW.
Yeah.
We'll be at it again next Tuesday, right after. Well, not right after, probably about 11:30 ish Eastern,
Bye.
10:30
Bye.
Central, and then 9 Mountain Time.
Bye. Same time. I've done
Yeah,
that.
11:30. So 9:30 your time.
Uh, I might take them all night off and
Okay.
do power fit on Sunday
Hmm.
that I got to NBA game one of the final FBI after the game from Thursday night power fit on Sunday probably ten about 10 Eastern time, then Friday night eat, and then I'd be like all week from the hot for basketball, and then next week we'd be able at a talking, but
You know, I just
before
noticed, Mikkel, and I'm shocked Tex didn't call this out on you. Are you still wearing that damn woman's shirt? What the hell?
no,
Yeah, you
no,
are. I can see it. You
no,
literally, you just turned off your camera. You're literally wearing that pink fucking shirt. Are you fucking kidding me? You can't say you're not.
that
Literally, we can see it right there.
anyway, yo guys, we gotta
Oh,
talk
one more
about
thing. One more thing.
NXT
Hold on, Mikkel. You
before
fucktard. Hold on.
all day.
Um, go subscribe to Casey is Raw's channel. Just hit 700 plus subscribers. Saturday is Raw. Casey will be
Yeah,
live with a whole bunch of people. I might join. I don't know. I gotta see how my schedule is, but yeah, sub up this channel. I know we got one or two new subs tonight, which we appreciate. Um, but yeah, that's all I have to say. Mikel, I appreciate you
Hey,
doing this with me. And I'm gonna step out, and you have a good night. All right?
AJ,
Yeah,
can you name me on something
I need about
like
$100.
both the NBA
Jesus Christ,
and
kid!
AL
Don't you have
family
those already?
on the final?
Yeah, I fucking made you one already.
You bet.
Yeah. Where the fuck have you been? Motherfucker
When
doesn't even notice when he gets fucking taken down on the internet and let alone fucking.
I told you AJ we were
What the fuck do you do all
just
day? I mean, come on. What do you sit there and dress? I know you're dressing in drag right now, but still, that's not the point of the matter.
I've been tired of it.
Yeah, oh, yeah, tired of what?
Uh,
But
no,
anyways, this was episode 2 of Who Killed WCW, and we
one,
will see you guys next week on Tuesday at
I got,
11:30,
I
and
got
I will see you later.
given that. Okay, bye, AJ. The AJ Williams that we don't know if he's gonna be a Thursday or Friday, maybe Saturday night. I might take August when I see out. And before we go and at I'm gonna really do a job one that we took so long, but we could play it about WCW and so we have the met above in what old game yeah, but we begin the night with Dublin Bay and TV time on Dublin Bay that and both okay take down a big shot. Um, okay, Matt, that was very on the judgment player. Both the win, it was in some interest, but we did. I don't get jump and play. I did that be mine and then we jump him back say at event in just jump that was kind of will keep for me and then sit down with she and Dumbo get and sit in Chelsea Thursday on Friday night. I work out and you will get a AEW Dynamite rebuild to on that day. So, uh, can't that night changing night again. TV all day night one with a paycheck. Well, our mental, it was a D in my mind. That Ian Peter into a blood. Yeah, that will enjoy your take business and I did that being proud memory my job fight with you know and then break I thought that was well done because then the family talking about the Algeria visit to the Algeria to prep family to prep. It was kind of bombing from in Brown Bell is a very uncommon get out and the man is a broad brought out and Tommy remains your and she out because I may already Gigi again. Natalia not goodbye. Upon Natalia with the get mom American tire. I'll be real good from and young real good from and you're over pen with a king um, um, of pop and polka in May, but that was where we got food up that in the zombie and get inside. Then the taxi not what okay to but I'm going but and me with a punk jet uh Jane pop P uh uh yeah but yeah 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 it was maybe a B. Then we got another from Mumbai at the time, uh, I didn't see the promo, and then we went overtime, so I go watch the who killed Daniel G. Daniel. So I've been at home all night, so we got uh, and then only for 3 more weeks today. Usually my night off, um, and then for um, power Wednesday night power press, um, um, come on, chat, come on, chat, so, uh, progress, it was, well, it was good, so he present from the, it was about, 36% that it was bad. So I'm gonna say it was good. I'm just he had he's 5.9 out of 10 average. So maybe a 6.2, but it was average from a goal on show, maybe a 5.2. And FBI Sunday night will maybe Sunday I got see, but that it from the night broken. No, I won't be for power fit. So Sunday, he Friday and Saturday night after game one of the Charlie Cup final. I see a Bob Powell fit on Sunday with game one of the NBA final, and I don't know he's obtained that he does diamond rebuild um and and don't know much and the more online I plan to gain and then tired of my job no game in the night and probably come what he and he will uh with drama and uh JD maybe I get the zombie ball Thursday night power play and game one of the NBA final It won't be Wednesday night. It'll be Thursday night at episode 2 of Power Press. And we from me to AJ, we see you next week to talk about episode 2 who killed Dario Gomba and Bit Rural. I think a non-Gomba here on next week. So we be right back. You on yeah in he implying I will see you from Thursday night now at Your guys.